If you're hearing new voices now, this is Mike Burgess, video producer for RationalPassions.com. I am joined by Jurge Cruz Alvarez.
Hello there, Mike. This is me, Jurge Cruz Alvarez,
Hey.
social and senior editor here on this dang website.
All right, we're here. It's PAX day 2, kind of, and it's getting late. We're tired, but we're here to talk about video games.
That is very good, and I think we should. I'm gonna summon the energy to talk about this game because, holy moly! I texted y'all because I think you, Mike, and Alex saw it together before me, and I just all caps fire emoji. It was like, yo, this game.
Yeah, and this game is She Dreams Elsewhere.
By Studio Zavir.
Zavir, yes, it is one gentleman, and he has. It's mainly one guy doing the development, but there's also he has like a composer, and like he's mainly doing some gameplay stuff. And I think he has an artist, so it's a very small team. And this game is very cool. It's kind of like it's a very old school inspired RPG. Think like Earthbound,
Shin Megami Tensei.
SMT, and like maybe some Persona kind of stuff in there.
Aesthetically, it reminded me a lot of Yumi Nikki. A lot of Yumi. I don't know if you're familiar with this game,
not too much,
Mike.
No.
So it is. It was like a lot of. It is like a very old game, like freeware game, if I'm correct. It was sort of a adventure game with horror vibes that were very intense, very, very surreal. And I would describe this game as surreal as well. I think if I showed it to you, you could maybe, it is all those things thrown in a blender, as well as with some very witty writing, very personable writing.
Yeah, I'm forgetting it's a pretty. It seems like the demo's kind of like it felt more like I was playing a demo necessarily than like playing the game proper, so to speak. I think it definitely nailed.
I can see that mainly because it was like walking you through, and you got a lot of party.
That's mainly what it was. Where it was, you kind of had this character. You had this. I think it was a female character you're playing as. I forget her name.
Oh yeah, her name is Talia, I believe. Yeah, okay. Talia.
Yeah, and like he kind of set it up for me and Alex at least beforehand. Like in this whole game is kind of taking place. She's basically in a coma, and like you're kind of living her out. She's kind of like essentially like trapped in her mind, and like clearly there's like you can kind of see like throughout this demo you could see kind of them and him laying the seeds, the developer kind of this story of her going through some things and like what caused this state, and like basically working it out like through this kind of crazy RPG. And just the whole style of it, it was very like when you like it's RPG, so you'll encounter enemies in the world and go into battles, and when you're walking around the world, it is like it looks like
a Game Boy game, kind of.
Yeah, Game Boy game. It kind of just looks like Undertale in some regards of like it is black. It's all.
Yeah. Part of me wanted to avoid that comparison because it's so easy, but it would also be dishonest not to, because I feel like that's the first thing a lot of people are going to get. But even Undertale itself, right? It's like inspired by these things, and now that's like the most modern comparison. But yeah,
totally. And I would say like the thing, like I granted as someone who's not really played Undertale, but like. The thing I noticed this one where it's like it wasn't just all black and white. They were using colors and like a very surreal and like trippy and fantastic ways of like you go into this like area where you're kind of walking along this lone path, and like the whole background is like this like kaleidoscope
of pinks and light blues and sharp whites.
Yeah, it was really cool, and like a lot of the effects in the battles are like very trippy, and like you have the enemies who are black and white, and the menus and like the character faces in the corner were kind of black and white, but then you had like the backgrounds that were like all kinds of colors like clashing each other, and
the characters themselves are very bizarre. They're like a little black blob man with like a heart, like a little cube guy. They're all very bizarre caricatures and creatures that are like hard to describe, like as an animal or as a person.
Yeah.
They're very abstract, and again, very much Yuminiki vibes. Huge.
Nice. Yeah, and it's the thing I really liked about the combat is it reminded me of Octopath Traveler, in that a lot of it is all the characters when you first initially encounter them, they have elemental weaknesses assigned to them, but you don't really see them initially, and you're they clearly like show that like there's question marks underneath their health bars to like signify like, all right, there is weaknesses here, and if you find them, then you'll know them. You go into the battle, and then like those doing those weaknesses to them basically kind of like stuns and like lowers their defenses and makes them more susceptible to like more damage from other attacks and stuff. So that was really, I really liked that kind of like puzzly aspect to the combat. It was really that was really nice, and like yeah, it was like I said, like it kind of just felt like a demo to kind of just show what this game. The
characters
about.
Even mentioned that it is a demo, like that. There's dialogue specifically made, like like you can do like their options like save. I was like, actually, you can't save in the demo. Awkward.
Yeah, awkward. Yeah, and it was clearly set up to be like that, but like, but it definitely still gave the flavor of that game. And
it felt like a prologue.
Yeah, totally. And I really enjoyed it. Like you said, like it has like a lot of like a not to be like in a say it in a mean way, but it was like sort of internet kind of humor, or like more.
I wanted to talk to him like, how do you walk the fine line of, you know, you want to sound approachable, you maybe even want to sound like you, but like so many games do that now that I imagine like it's a fine line to walk.
Right.
But I think that, and I'm sorry I cut you off there, Mike. Actually, it does everything else about it is so. It has such a specific taste, that such a specific vision, specific like what it's going for in terms of vibe and energy.
Yes.
That language, it didn't feel like they're just trying to be. They weren't just talking like that because it's cool. It's not like social media guy over here. I've never made that feel when babe, whatever the hell, right?
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
you can use that language, right, to be relatable to an audience, but a lot of time it's maybe a little bit lazy. And that's not what I felt from this at all.
That's definitely a great way to put it, is like, it does feel like that, because like, I mean, like, there's straight up like you said, there's a save system in the game, and it's straight up just like a dog.
Yeah.
And like there's an option in the menu that just like, hey, let you pet the dog, and you can pet the dog, and like, haha, that's funny. But like it didn't feel like it didn't feel like a thing to just be like, it's there to be there.
Yeah.
Let's make a funny joke. And like you can feel like the tone of the writing is definitely like, you know, the developer or the writer, whoever it is, like definitely is aware of that stuff. But like you said, they made it okay. They rode the line well, and it like it wasn't in a way that like was like, oh gosh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know how much more you have to say, Mike, but I will say that I like the idea of RPGs. But I'm not that big on them. Even Undertale, I like Undertale a lot, but in this game is kind of simple. I mean,
yeah,
kind of. But again, I can't. The bizarre, hallucinogenic, nightmarish, fucking weird trip energy that this game has, and it's hot soundtrack.
Yes.
Just the specific taste of this developer and the way they're injecting that taste into this game speaks to me so much. I love it. It's this weird punk rock RPG for me, and I like it so much. In the same way some of the Shin Megami Tensei games are, like Digital Devil Saga, like all the weird obscure games.
Yeah.
There is an attitude to it.
Yeah, like you said, a lot of that stuff feels deliberate. Like it is clearly somebody's like the stuff they really, really like.
This is my weird shit that I like, and I want to make a game like that.
But yeah, it's the weird shit I really like, and this is the kind of games I like, and I want to infuse that in this video game. And like you said, yes, like the soundtrack, even like the 3-4 tracks I heard in this was probably like the best music.
So good.
The best music I've heard.
It's one of my favorite games this show.
But that's pretty much my favorite music from heard all across PAX so far.
It's real good.
And Yeah, and like you said, like it is totally an RPG, but I think one thing he brought up when we talked about like game length and stuff, and he said like, yeah, this is like a game that like you can like probably beat in like 6 hours. And it's like not it's not going to end up being like some massive scale RPG, and it definitely didn't feel like that like playing it, because like there was you were leveling up and getting skills, but it was pretty straightforward stuff of like you have a basic attack, you have like by the end of the demo you're introduced to they kind of let you see all the characters that are going to be in your party, but it didn't necessarily feel like that's how you immediately meet them in the how you'll probably actually meet them in the full game potentially. It was just like we want to just be able to show you that like, hey, other characters join your party. They all have their own abilities too. Like there was one character that was kind of like clearly like your buff and debuffing character. She had like a lot of skills to buff your friends and debuff enemies, and then you could open them up for attacks. And then the other character was like I couldn't remember all of it was a guy's moves, but like I know he had like I think a few of them had heals, so it was like that one thing of like it was hard to tell if like there were certain characters that like were like
this is your healer, this is your whoever.
Exactly. Like it didn't necessarily feel like that. Like the only thing that felt real was like the original character you start with, like she just kind of had a little bit of everything, where you're like you have all like the different elemental spells with her, and then and you have like super moves, like you're powering up a meter, and you have super moves that'll. And like they didn't seem like too out there. Like it was just like use like a really high damaging attack after it charges up. So it seems pretty basic. But like if it's a game that's not
if it's
super
tight,
long, it's not super long. Like I think I don't see that.
If that style can go where and it can make moments with it, like I just love how alternative and how punk rock it is and how specific it is. It's just so good, and it's like mostly black and white and blue, but it's it's from the characterism, the mannerisms and the characteristics, both physically and the way they talk to these characters. It seems like these are people of color.
Yeah.
And that was also cool. Again, it seemed like person of color making a game, an RPG that is what I like. And I liked it so much.
Yeah, it was really cool to see. Just like you could feel it playing that game, and like I talked to him for an extended period of time.
Yes,
like
he's cool. He's really chill.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy, Davion. Yeah, and you can feel like he's definitely putting himself and like the things he loves into this game. So it was really cool, and I'm definitely looking forward to playing it. Admittedly, I'm somewhat blanking on like the time frame on stuff. I think I want to say it was. We played it on PC, so it'll definitely
it's Xbox and PC.
Xbox, PC. Okay.
Xbox and PC. Who knows? Maybe it'll be Game Pass. I don't know. Usually when it's that Xbox PC, you can say that maybe either Microsoft's helping them get it through the finish line or it's coming to Game Pass. I didn't ask, but that's the feeling I get. That's just conjecture on my behalf. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the thing I just realized. Like, oh yeah,
if it's Xbox and PC, that's usually specific reason.
I'm pretty sure he said he'd been already working on it for about like 4 years.
Yes, and he may sound like again he's like it's finally fucking getting out.
Yeah,
he's taking a long time on it.
Yeah, it seems like he's ready to get it out there for sure.
That's all. Yeah.
But yeah, that's
day 2, baby.
Day 2 of PAX East is done. We're gonna wrap it up here. So.
Yeah, we're gonna tag in one Alex O'Neill to give the proper exit here.
I was right here the whole time. Oh my god! Whoa! It was like I was right. I was inside George. I ripped out of his mouth.
Okay, that's take that. I was inside George.
Audio clip that. Somebody clip that. Put that on social, George. Could you? Thanks everybody for listening. Obviously, we got way more stuff. Hopefully, up on the site. We also recorded some one-on-ones to get a little bit more in depth with a handful of games. Obviously, a couple of games we wanted to spend some more time on. Jarrett was not on day 1, so that's why we spent a little bit more time with him. But irrationalpassions.com, subscribe to IP Presents. That's where all this audio is going to live. And probably the Irrational Passions podcast feed. So go check all this out, irrationalpassions.com, follow Irrational Pod on Twitter, and just a quick thank you for day 2 to every single person that came to our panel. You're going to hear another thank you tomorrow as well, and absolutely, we managed to get the audio of the panel, so it will be out soon on the RPG University feed, if it's not already, and you will hear an additional thank you there. So just a big thank you to everyone that showed up for that.
Absolutely.
We love you all very much. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for more, including Day 3 recaps, and at some point a post-show where I think that might be the best place for us to talk about our personal games of show, which we're going to be deciding tomorrow as well. So thank you for listening. We will catch you all next time.